We're used to having some choices. Sorry. There's just samsaric choices. It is boring, actually, in reality. We don't need to... These kind of choices are fake. They're not real choices. Real choice is, what I'm going to explain now briefly, is from How to Understand the Mind, which is not the book I'm meant to be teaching. It's just a quick diversion in here. Yeah, because what we're going to try and do the next few days, what I'm going to try and do is to give the transmission of the new book, How to Transform Your Life, second part, progress, making progress. All of that is about changing our attitude. I'll refer to this first. You know, last week we heard that through practicing the instructions in this book, we can transform our life from a state of misery into one of pure and everlasting happiness. Okay? Through practicing the instructions in this book, we can transform our life from a state of misery into one of pure and everlasting happiness. And then at the bottom of the page, it says the actual correct method for doing this is changing our attitude from negative to positive. Yeah? We can understand this, or we should understand this through our own experience. So we have to change our attitude. So we've got many attitudes, haven't we? Yeah? What's your attitude about this? What's your attitude about that? But the main attitude that we need to change is our attitude towards ourselves and our attitude towards others. This is the principal teaching of this part of the book, is changing our attitude towards ourselves, the attitude we presently have towards ourselves, and the attitude we presently have towards others. We need to change those if we want to fulfill our wish to become enlightened. Yeah? Or even just to be happy a little bit. Doesn't matter what you want, a little bit of happiness or full happiness, it all depends upon changing this attitude. And that can only come about through the freedom of practicing Dharma. So here anyway, I just love this phrase in the beginning of the section on meditation in How to Understand the Mind. Geshe tells us that whether an object is virtuous or not depends on our position. What? Whether an object is virtuous or not, depends upon our position. So position, you can take, another way of thinking is attitude or posture, isn't it? Your posture. How's your physical posture today? It's important, but our mental posture, our mental attitude, our mental, position is crucial to our happiness. If we have the wrong position in relation to the objects in our world, then all we're going to get is negative feedback, bad stuff. He says, when our enemy harms us, for example, and we practice patience, our enemy is our virtuous object, the object of our patience. But if instead we get angry with him or her, he is our non-virtuous object, the object of our anger. Then, this is the punchline, so it is our choice whether someone or something is our virtuous object or our non-virtuous object. It's our choice. It's our choice. In other words, we have freedom just with all those eggs and toast and so forth, you know. We have choice. We do have choice if we are intent on practicing Dharma, putting Dharma into practice in our daily lives. Then we've got freedom given to us by our Holy Guru's teachings, you know, explaining we do have this freedom of choice. We can change our attitude. We can change our posture. We can change our position in relation to objects if we're determined to do so. So the second part of How to Transform Your Life begins with a chapter called Learning to Cherish Others. Maybe you know this very well, learning to cherish others. I think, okay, I've heard this before. So please stay awake And you may know this. Again, Ladekyan was trying to get across to us last week. We may know this, we may have taught this, we may have studied it, and what have you, but what we really need to do is to put it into our heart. We need to put these instructions deep into the bottom of our heart so that they inform our daily activities, our daily perceptions, our daily choices about how we choose to see ourselves and others.